Hi, everybody. We're here. Say hi to my friends. You're going to be introduced to them in just a little bit. But we are here because after years of telling you guys, I'm coming out with a book. It's happening. It's a YA fantasy. You're going to love it, I hope. It's really happening. The book is, or the first book of this series, just came out today. Wings of Betrayal, first episode of On Wings of Ash and Dust. And I am so excited to not only have my lovely writer friends here with me, again, who you're going to meet in just a second, but all of you in the chat box, definitely say hi. Let us know you're here. And I'm just so privileged to be here with all of you. And tonight we're going to do a lot of really cool things. We're going to do some games, some readerly and writerly games. We're going to have some giveaways. Some of them will be ebooks by some of these lovely people. And I also got some discounts on like my merch. And like if you've heard of my author website, Bootcamp, we're going to have a discount on that. And we're going to have some Q&A time to tell you more stuff about the story. Let us know in the comments if you have started reading yet or you have yet to. We'll try not to spoil anything for you. And we're also going to talk about the writing and publishing process and just generally answer your questions. And then at some point, I'm not even going to say when, at some point, I'm planning to reveal the title and the cover of episode 2 because it's coming out in 2 weeks. This is a fast release, you guys. It's very exciting. So that's really awesome. And before we get into all that, I just want to say hello to my lovely co-hosts, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And I'd love for you guys in the chat. I'm going to have to catch up on everybody chatting because you comments are going by so fast. I love that you all are here. To let us know in the chat, what's your favorite YA fantasy book? And if you're a writer, feel free to tell us a little bit about what story you're currently writing. Anyway, I will stop talking, and I'm going to let Bethany introduce herself.
Hi, guys. My name is Bethany Atazada, and I'm representing the nymphs today. For some reason, I thought this was blue when I put it on, but it's really not, but just pretend, okay? And I have been the lucky person who gets to be Brittany's critique partner, and so we have been chatting since the beginning of this story, really, right? Time. Yeah, so she's an awesome CP, by the way. I have a fantasy series of fairy tale retellings, and so my upcoming release is called The Secret Gift. And as a fun fact, I was going to say something else, but then I was like, wait, I want to talk about how I'm a singer because that's how I met Brittany like 10 years ago. We randomly met because we were both pursuing music instead of writing books. So I thought that was a fun fact.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. And as far as I was going to bring in, I have it written down, a book recommendation for you guys. So I thought I would recommend something called The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. If you've heard of it, let us know in the comments because it's like a less well-known book, but it's so good.
I love that. Thanks, Bethany. Yeah. Holly, would you like to go next?
Yes, I would love to. If you don't know me, my name is Holly. I am representing the Dryad clan, Team Dryad. And I actually realized I was introduced to Brittany through Bethany because I was watching Bethany's videos and then she would talk about Brittany and I'm like, who's Brittany? So then I watched Brittany's videos. I'm like, Brittany's awesome.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So now I'm in a mastermind group with Brittany and she had asked me to be a beta reader for her. So I was actually part of the first round of beta readers before she even came up with the idea of it being a serial for On Wings of Ash and Dust, and now I'm on her ARC team, which is super exciting, and that's been a lot of fun to like help promote and share and live vicariously through her all of her triumphs, which has been awesome. As far as myself, I'm currently working on a YA fantasy nicknamed Project Diamond. It's Own Voices story, and it's a comp titles are Tangled, Disney's Tangled, and A Touch of Gold by Annie Sullivan. And I'm working on the 3rd draft, so hopefully can keep chipping away at that. And then a fun fact about me is that I used to be a majorette in high school. So I would twirl a baton and I wouldn't do like a cartwheel and then catch it with fire like some people do. But I did have some moves, and then I just realized that if you dig, my YouTube channel used to it wasn't an author tube channel. It started off as just a regular YouTube channel. So if you dig, you might find some videos of me twirling the baton.
We are there. I've seen them. It's so funny. I love it.
I've had people say, oh, this showed up on my like recommended. And then a lot of people might know this YA fantasy, but I love it so much. So I am going to be recommending The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Really anything by Marissa Meyer has been awesome. But that series in particular, I really liked the characters and the subplots, the action, kind of like all the reasons why I love On Wings of Ash and Dust. So, so yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, Holly. Ooh, and I forgot to say, people, my co-hosts are saying what fairy clan they're representing. And I'm just going to say really quick that if you didn't know, this book has 5 fairy clans in it, and you can take a quiz on my website that tells you what fairy clan you belong to. And I've linked that down below. And so all of my lovely co-hosts has taken it and figured out which clan they belong to, which is super fun. But I'm going to let Allie go next.
Hi, I am Allie, like she said, and I'm representing the sylphs today. It looks kind of blue in this light, but it's definitely purple, which is my favorite color. Worked out quite well.
Nice.
I was a beta reader round 2 for this book, so I got to like read it as it was like a serial, because she was like testing it out to see if it actually worked. So that was really cool. And I'm an ARC team member, so I got to like read it twice, and that was kind of exciting because I really like the story. So I was okay with it. My debut novel comes out in hopefully the spring of 2022. I'm hoping it's a science fantasy romance. It's like Rogue One meets Violet Evergarden, and it's called Cities of Smoke and Starlight. So I'm really excited about it, but I'm trying to get through my developmental edits right now. We'll see how fast I can get this through.
Yeah.
A fun fact about myself, I had a really hard time thinking of one. So I decided to go with one I just always go to. Is I've broken my arm 5 times in my life. I've broken my right arm 3 times and my left arm twice. Doing stupid things, sometimes sports, but my favorite was a family reunion. And my cousin and I were in a 3-legged race. My family is very, very competitive. And so we were winning, of course. And we tripped and my cousin fell on my arm and broke it. So that was great. I didn't drink milk, okay? I think that's the problem. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, anyway. And my favorite YA fantasy that I'm going to recommend today would definitely be Sabriel by Garth Nix. I don't know if anyone has actually heard of that one. Whenever I say it, like only 2 people know it. But I found it in high school and I reread it like every year because it's my absolute favorite. Has necromancy, I can never say that word, necromancy in it, but it's like good, but people can use it for evil, and it's like epic, and it's just awesome. I probably didn't sell it very well, but you should definitely go check it out for sure.
I love it. I have it on my list. I've had multiple people tell me to read it, and I just haven't read it.
You need to. And he
do.
keeps writing in the series, and I'm just like, please give me more.
See, that's the intimidating thing, though, because then I see how many books there are, and I'm like, shoot, now I gotta catch up.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Also, do you want to tell everybody why you have the hat that you have today?
Oh, yes. So why do I have the hat? Just because I wanted it, because it's Quinn, I guess.
Yeah. It's a pirate hat, everybody.
It's a pirate hat. It kind of looks like Christopher Columbus in a way. But like, I feel like it works. So I'm wearing it. I'm really excited about it.
Yes, I'm really excited about it. Thank you for wearing it.
You're welcome. I do what I can.
Yes. Cool. And then we have Cassidy, and I've sort of gone in order by the people that have like worked with me the longest to the very end. So Cassidy, you want to tell us about yourself?
Hi, I am, I was the line copy editor for Wings of Betrayal on Wings of Ash and Dust. And it was a super fun job. Trying to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. I lost the order. Okay. I'm representing the nymphs today. You might be able to tell.
Makeup is awesome.
I mean, I always wear makeup like this, but it's so I'm representing the nymphs. As far as my own project, my debut novel, The Saltwater Air, came out this like a month ago, and it's still kind of crazy that that's a thing. But I usually pitch it as it's a twist on the Lost Princess trope. So I usually pitch it as like Tangled meets Sky in the Deep with like a little bit of Grishaverse in there. Which sounds so like that's a weird book, but I like it, so it works out.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
your makeup looks very good, by the way.
well, thanks.
Can you give us
So
a close up
awesome.
of the nymph?
Of the
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, how long did it take you to do your makeup?
When did I start? Less than an hour. I don't remember. It was like 45 minutes.
Impressive.
very good.
Go ahead.
Sorry, okay. So I'm also really bad at fun facts. But I'm doing my best. So I don't really watch sports that much. I mostly, if I watch it, I'm watching it with like, I usually watch the Super Bowl. Because that's what my family and I do. We watch the Super Bowl. And for a long time, like 7 years, I had a streak going where I would predict the winner based on like which colors I liked better. And it was working really well. And then the Seahawks lost to, I think, the Patriots in 2015. And I just really, so Tom Brady and I like now have a really intense, like it's a one-sided grudge, but it's very, I'm really mad at the Patriots.
Killed your streak.
I'm so mad. So, and then I have to keep watching him win, you know, because the Patriots keep winning. So I'm like, whatever. Okay. But as far as YA fantasy that I recommend, I'm a little iffy on this because I think that Cassandra Clare's Infernal Devices series is like, it's not quite fantasy, but I feel like it has fantasy elements. So I usually recommend that one because it makes me laugh so much and cry so much, and it's amazing. But for like true YA fantasy, I recommend the Books of Bayern series by Shannon Hale. They're older books, but they're based off of fairy tales, like The Goose Girl, I think is the first one. But the whole series is so good. So those are the ones that I recommend.
Cool. Oh, I love it. Hopefully you guys have new books to put on your TBR. And I just want to shout out real fast because we're about to get into a game, but I just wanted to shout out real fast. I see Heather and TA and Vivian and Child of God and Danya and Kaylin. Oh, we're going to play your game, Kaylin, Spiller Quill. I'm so excited. Clary and Crystal and Christine and just Cam. Oh, Cam's here. Cam was another beta reader. Ingrid was another beta reader. So you guys, I'm super excited, and you guys are going to get to play this game with us, and it'll help us all get to know each other a little bit more. So I'm going to pull it up right here.
Vivian says, congratulations on your release, by the way, and I think we should take a moment to shout out the release. I was going to release
Thank you. Yeah, it's easy to like speed bags and like, we got so much planned, but thank you.
Yeah.
It's kind of important. I'm just saying.
Just a little. I'll throw a few of them up there. Hi, Jessie.
Oh, Jessie too.
Jesse's excited for the games. Woo! So obviously this is my welcome slide I forgot to bring up. But then we have Never Have I Ever. And I'm just going to keep this up as I explain what we're going to do. And then we'll take it down so you can see all our lovely faces. But you guys get to play with us at home. And if you've never played Never Have I Ever, you hold up 10 fingers. And this is going to be a reader-writer edition. So all the questions are going to be reader-writerly. And they'll all be clean, so don't worry. And you hold up 10 fingers. And the host will take turns reading a different Never Have I Ever statement. I'll actually, I was going to roll a die, but I forgot a die. So the wonderful Cassidy is going to roll a die. And then that's going to pick the question. And if you have done the thing we're saying, you have to put a finger down. And the last person to have fingers up wins. Everybody get it? Sweet. Okay. So bring everybody back. Okay. So put up your fingers, even everybody at home. And we're going to start off. Cassidy is going to roll the die and let me know which number we have.
4.
Number 4. Okay, so put your finger down if you have ever written a query letter. Even if you've never sent it, if you've written it. Nice. Okay. Let's get, sorry, Cassidy, you're gonna have to keep putting your fingers down, but you roll again. And Bethany is gonna read the next one under your section.
Okay.
1.
Under my section? Okay. So I have to say this, but if it's true, then I still have to put a finger down?
Yes.
Okay, so never have I ever stopped mid-conversation with someone to write down an idea. I have to put a finger down.
Definitely done this.
That's how I did that.
Oh yeah, you can like kind of do this. Awesome. Anybody not put a finger down yet? Let us know. Cassidy, you're gonna roll, and then it's your section there.
Okay, so number 3. Never have I ever written between the hours of 1 and 6 a.m.
Dang it.
That's 2. Okay.
Prime writing time.
That's great. This is great.
Seriously. Let's see. Holly is gonna go next. What number do we have?
All right, 4.
Okay. Never have I ever changed a main character's name midway through the story.
Oh my god. Oh, that was a wrong finger.
Brittany. Oh my
Sorry,
word.
Oh, good thing I caught that. All right. I've put down a finger for every single one. Is anybody? Oh, Holly still got 3. You still got 2. Okay.
Allie.
Allie's gonna go next. Cassidy.
All right, number 5.
Oh, sorry. Brain fart. Developed a crush on a book character.
Oh, I did wrong one too.
Oh, God.
I think at some point in my life I probably have.
So many crushes.
Just gonna leave
Yeah,
one up.
5 left.
Too many.
Let us know in the comments how many you have left.
Oh,
Cece has
wow.
9 still. Tessie has 3 fingers
Wow.
down so far. Ashley, I have 8 fingers left. You guys are doing good. I also saw something I wanted to pop up here. Keelan, thank you so much for saying the cover is stunning. I really appreciate it. I don't know why the comments are coming up so slow, but it's there. Thank you. Okay. Then I think we go back to me. So Cassidy, what number do we have next?
Number 2.
Number 2. I feel like you're the, not Vanna White, but like the girl with like the balls that come up and like, you're mine. Okay, sorry, you said number 2?
Yes.
Never have I ever written a love triangle. Never have I ever written a love triangle. Okay. Bethany is next.
Can we roll differently?
6.
6. All right. Never have I ever corrected someone's grammar in real life or online. Is this like in a mean way or just in general? Like
It's like in a so like Cassidy is an editor in a non-professional way. I
Okay.
feel like in
Okay.
a normal
Okay.
conversation.
Yeah.
So like helping my hubby with things, he asked for help, so I have to count that, right? Okay.
Probably.
Oh.
I love it. Cassidy, I think you're next.
Okay. I got 5. So, never have I ever written a story based on a dream I had.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I haven't.
Allie's got 2 left.
I have every single one, okay?
That just means
Fine.
you're a really experienced
gosh.
writer, okay?
There you go. I like this outlook there.
So
Very nice.
actually, you win by losing, right? Because you've proven that you're.
Thank you. Made me feel better about myself.
You're welcome. Holly is next.
All right, number 3.
Never have I ever lost a document because you forgot to save it.
I've definitely done that. Wah, wah.
Save for
Let's see. Allie's next. Anybody already out? Let us. No, wait. Have we done 10? Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, hey, whole question before we start.
Yeah.
Never is asking, why is everyone counting? Do you want to give like a brief?
Oh, yes. If you're just coming in, we're playing Never Have I Ever. I probably should have put it on the screen. We're playing Never Have I Ever, where you start with 10 fingers and you put down a finger for everything you have done. And the last person standing with fingers up wins. Hopefully it's helpful.
Probably looks pretty funny to come into the middle of this game.
I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna put a banner up because that's good.
That's a good idea. And also watch and see. You'll catch on.
It's fine. It's fine. Did you roll me a number, Cassidy? I can't remember.
1.
Okay, because I completely forgot. Laughed out loud while writing a funny scene.
Oh.
I am, definitely.
I'm not very funny, I guess.
Oh, no?
I don't laugh at my writing.
Protest that.
I feel like I'd laugh at other people's writing, but my own, I know it's coming. So like, how do you laugh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess I just really think I'm funny. I don't know.
No, I've done it too, where it's just like, oh my gosh, that was actually it's like
That's
a surprise for me.
It's
Though.
surprise
I'm not that funny, so when something comes out, I'm like, oh my gosh, score.
That was great.
I'm sorry. Who's next? Is it me?
I think Becky, or is it you?
I think after
I
Allie is
went.
me, right?
Yeah, I was the last one that went.
Okay.
6.
Number 6. Never have I ever entered a writing contest or pitch contest. Like a 1-footer. And everybody's still in, right? Bethany.
I've done a lot.
Bethany's next. I think a bunch of us are about to be out.
5. Let's see. Never have I ever fallen asleep while reading a book. I actually have not.
I'm out.
Wow, that's impressive.
I can't put it down. You can't just like stop reading. Like who does that?
I'll love the book and I'll fall asleep.
I don't consciously fall asleep.
Yeah.
I just like slowly kind of like drift off before I know it.
Like, it hasn't hit me in the face yet, but like it's come close.
Yeah.
I love it. Cassidy is next.
Okay. Never have I ever acted out a scene or pantomimed it to help write better.
I'm out.
Oh no.
Cassidy and Bethany's the last people standing. Oh, and it looks like Morgan is out. Ingrid has 3 left. Danya has 2. Tessie has 4. Author MK is out. School was a rough time. I think that's for falling asleep with a book. I love that. All right. Maybe the final one is going to come from Holly. You still get to read this one.
All right, number 2.
Number 2. Never have I ever written so long your body started to hurt.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they gotta be out. Come on.
Well, I think we have 2 big winners then for that one. And I'm wondering, there's still a few of you that have fingers up in the house. So you guys win as well. Way to go. Round of applause.
Yay.
I love it. Cool. Well, we are going to move right along. We have more games. We have giveaways. We have Q&As coming up. And actually, the next thing we're going to do is a Q&A. And I've gotten my wonderful host to help ask the questions that you guys have submitted, whether it's been from Instagram or my ARC team or my patrons. Thanks so much, guys, for submitting questions. And I took a bunch of notes, but I probably shouldn't just read them out to you. So I'm going to try really hard not to and just talk from what I remember. But Allie, I'm going to give this over to you. And if you guys have additional questions in the comments, you can put those in there, and then other people that are not Allie are going to look at the comments and let us know if there's anything else we should add in here. And I'm going to put in a timer for 10 minutes just because we could probably talk about I could talk about all this stuff forever. So I'm ready whenever you are, Allie.
Awesome. Okay, I wish I had a mic, so I'll pretend I'll pass it over. How did you come up with a story idea, or what inspired you? And what were the biggest changes you made from the first to the final draft?
Ooh, very good questions. So I'm going to pull up. I've pulled this up before, but I'm going to pull up my handy dandy notebook that I had in middle school when I first started brainstorming what would become this story. This was a very different story. I loved epic fantasy stories like Lord of the Rings and decided to create my own fantasy world of fairies. And they were all still teen fairies, but it was more middle grade. And they felt closer to like the fairies in Peter Pan. And instead of On Wings of Ash and Dust, the story was called Adventures in Gwendolyn, which was the name of the fairy world at the time. And if you read episode 2, once you get there, you'll find that I've named one of the characters Gwendolyn because I needed to fit that in somewhere. But these teen fairies all went to the same central fairy school in the world, and the main character was actually the princess of the queen, who contracted a deathly disease. The queen did, and so the princess and her friends took it upon themselves to go in search of the cure. And so I put that story aside, obviously, for a long time. And when I started getting serious about publishing again in 2017, I took a few elements from that middle school story and totally revamped it into what it is now. In the beginning, I was calling it Project Fairy Fantasy. You guys, anybody remember that term that I called it on this channel for a while? And it started off with a few rough scenes that I wasn't really sure where it was going, but then I read Save the Cat. If you love Save the Cat, put that in the comments. And I basically restructured my idea of the story based on Save the Cat. A few things changed. But Quinn was always a pirate, and her backstory and her goals kind of changed. And there was always a competition, but you know, that kind of adjusted as well. Fun fact, though, I'll just say before we go to the next question, is that, and I just realized I never kind of recapped you guys on what the story is about, so I might do that in a second. But a fun fact is that I actually played around early on with making this like a Tinkerbell kind of retelling, where the main fairy would be like a teenage kind of Tinkerbell that lived in the world, but she would have definitely had to been a kobold because she would tinker, and that would totally mesh. So that didn't go in the direction, but I have played around with doing like a side story where she's like a character in the story.
Cool.
So I thought that would be fun to share.
Yeah.
I am really quick before Allie asks the next question. We might need more than 10 minutes. I'm just realizing, but I just wanted to give you guys a real quick recap in case you're just popping in, you don't know anything about this story. On Wings of Ash and Dust is the series name, and it is a YA fantasy serial with 6 short novel episodes that will fast release every 2 weeks. And that's the first episode right there, which is out now. I shared a bunch more details in this recent video if you want to go check that out. But basically, it takes place in a vast fantasy world called Phelan. So it's changed from Gwendolyn to Phelan, and it's filled with 5 opposing fairy clans that all want the crown, the fairy crown. There's also pirates, misfit crews, a spunky anti-hero who is my main pixie pirate Quinn, strong sibling bonds, action, adventure, mystery, forbidden magic, and a hint of enemies to lovers romance. It'd be really good for fans of fantasy books like Six of Crows, The Cruel Prince, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and more. And real quick, the description of the episode is this: Pixie Pirate Quinn may be an outlaw wanted by all 5 fairy clans, but she prefers it that way. Yet in all of her years of pillaging, she never expected to be looting a funeral, least of all her twin brothers. Derailed by the sudden news of his death after he entered a competition for the fairy crown, Quinn can't stay in the shadows any longer. Risking everything she's built to avenge his death, Quinn and her crew of outcasts infiltrate the world of clashing clans to attempt their biggest heist yet. But there's more at stake than she knows, and to truly honor her brother, she'll have to face the dark past she spent years hiding and evade the same dangers that claimed her brother's life. And I'll just say real quick that the artist who did the cover is Ree Barden on Instagram. She's awesome. Here's a few more just inspirations that I had. And yeah, I think I've talked enough. I'll let Brittany do this question.
Hey, Brittany, there's a couple people wondering. They're asking, did you use the Save the Cat method for plotting this book or a different plotting method? And then a couple other people were chiming in saying, yeah, I also wonder, how did you use Save the Cat when you were making like a series and making episodes?
Yes. So we'll get more into episodes
So,
and serials.
curious
It's like a
if
whole
you know.
section we're going to talk about. So stay tuned. But I will say that when this book started, it started out as a novel. And so I plotted it out with the 15 beats for the full novel. And then when I was starting to do the serial, I then had to look at each episode as its own kind of 15 or so beats within it. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So then I had to like kind of rework some of those sections in order to make it mini stories within a bigger story.
Yeah, and she did a good job, guys. She did a good job.
Okay, so the clans, you've mentioned those with the 5 clans. How did they develop? And this is a 3-part question. So how did they develop? Were they based on mythological creatures or mythology, anything like that? And did you have a favorite part of the process?
Yeah, so actually I'll bring up, I have like, you guys know I love visuals and I can't not put visuals up. So I'll give you some visuals. The clans were super fun to create. They were based on, at least the names of them were based on existing fairy types. So if you type in nymph, Gwillian, kobold, like all of those into Google, something will come up. And I did like kind of match certain things. Like I picked the word nymph because they're usually associated with the water in fairy lore, but that's pretty much where I stopped trying to make them the same. My nymphs are kind of like hybrids of fae and mermaid because they can like change into a mermaid, merman form. I think I thought of Gwillians first because dragons, duh. Like, who doesn't want dragons in their book?
Yeah.
So Gwillians are like a yes for sure. And then I loved mermaids, so nymphs came, I think, next. And then dryads made sense because of, you know, just being in the woods. I really liked that idea and like bonding with animals. And then sylphs took me a little bit longer, but I liked kind of basing them off of like bookish kind of people and loving knowledge and being in the sky and having like bird-like wings. And then I think kobolds were the hardest. I nearly ran out of wing types because all of them have different wing types. And I think it was my brother Zach who suggested bat wings because I listed out all the others. And that brought to mind the caves and the tunnels, which is where I decided pixie dust would be mined. And then their steampunk vampire kind of vibes, because they have like pale skin with glowing eyes sometimes, came from there. And so that's, I think, was the order. And my favorite part was coming up with the 3 basics for each clan. I think they're on the screen right now. Their wings, what province or section of the world they would live in, and then their etho, their biggest value. And so their traits came gradually as I was building the clan culture's intentions. And I think the wings might have come first, which then influenced where they would live. And then the colors came last because I was like, okay, dragon, let's see fire. So red, you know, nymph, water, blue, you know, kind of went from there. And I think the odd one out was kobold. And I was like, well, pixie dust kind of sparkles, so let's do gold. And then the hardest part was really fleshing out each world and each part of the world and each culture, because the characters visit each of them throughout the series for the competition. And no matter how much I added to this book, you guys, people, my betas, they always ask me, can you give us more of the world? And I'm like, I can't, this book is going to be epically long, like more epically long than it already is. I don't know that I can do that. But I'll just say, here's just like a quick kind of look at all the different kinds. Again, you can take the test on the website to find out what you are. And then I'm just going to real quick shout out my artist again, who made all of these wonderful, cute little characters and the wings and the emojis that my YouTube members and patrons and everybody uses on Discord. And because we're talking about art, we'll just shout out my cover designer as well, because she's amazing. So, okay.
Okay, we're good. Question number 3. Which character came to you first, or characters? And then what or who changed the most or the least?
Good question. And before I go into that, was there anything I missed in the chat, or are we still good?
I think
You're doing good. You're doing good. Okay. I've been watching.
Okay, so Quinn definitely came first. And then there's one of the competitors you'll meet in episode 2. I think Quinn's probably my favorite, but one of them in episode 2 quickly became a favorite of not only mine, but most of my betas. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think when you get there. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I seriously love all the competitors for different reasons. I feel like each of them has like a different part of me kind of in there. And ironically, I feel like I'm least like Quinn, but she was that much more fun to write because I feel least like her.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, since you meet a character named Aaron in the first episode, I'll just say that his character has gone through a lot of development through the drafts. He has Asian features because he's loosely based on my husband in some ways, mostly looks a little bit and personality. And initially Quinn was going to meet him when she met the other heirs in episode 2. But when I learned about the B story aspect in Save the Cat, even though all the competitors are technically a B story for Quinn, Aaron became the obvious choice to like kind of introduce early. And so that's why he shows up. Oh no! In episode 2. Oh, so sad.
Was that a timer?
It was a timer.
Aaron's theme music. That's all. Like, like intro music.
That's so funny.
So how many more questions do we have?
There was a couple comments in. Do you want to go through more? I was just going to shout out a couple people being excited about your Tinker story.
Sure.
Christine said, if you did a Tinker story, I would die.
Okay.
And then there was another one from Ashley Nicole. She said, I love faction type stories. So your fantasy take on this is awesome.
Sweet.
So not really questions, although there is one further down, but you can keep going.
No, I love it. Do you guys mind if we take like another minute or so? I think
Yeah,
the last
go
couple
for it.
questions are the fast ones.
Yeah, do it.
All right, next one. It is a really quick one. It says if Wings of Betrayal, I don't know if all Wings of Ashen Dust, Wings of Betrayal, one of them was made into a movie or TV show. Is it a live action or maybe animated?
Well, this was a great question. I think Janine asked this one. I think animated would be so fun and probably easier because of the wings. But if it was live action, kind of like, I didn't end up watching the whole thing because it wasn't totally my vibe, but Carnival Row had fairies with wings. I think it came out 2 years ago. But it had like live action people with wings. I'm like, it can be done. So if it can be done, I would love live action. I think that'd be great. Or like first animated, then moved into live action.
There you go. You have a plan. You're good.
A strategy.
Yeah.
Did faith inspire any aspects of your story?
I love this question because I would definitely say my faith inspires everything that I do. But in my stories and my books, they mostly come out through the themes that I write about. So in this entire series, all the way through it, you'll see themes of redemption, forgiveness, and unity that are greatly inspired by my faith. So thanks for that question.
That's cool.
There's one more question. It might be a little bit longer, but were there any songs that inspired certain moments or characters?
Yes. So I love Cassidy actually asked this question. I loved that. I didn't have any specific songs that inspired certain things, but I listened to a whole soundtrack while I was writing. And if you guys have been watching on Instagram or you're part of my newsletter, I created a soundtrack with one instrumental track for each chapter / scene in the book. So as you read it, you can actually listen to a mood specific song that goes with the mood of that chapter and kind of has a soundtrack for the story as you read it. So not quite the answer you were probably looking for, but I love epic fantasy music in general, and so it's like packed full of that. If you guys want to sign up for my newsletter.
Love it.
There's one other question, and it's a super fast one if you have time for it.
Do it.
Ashley Nicole says she can't remember if you said, but what clan do you identify with, Brittany? What did you get in your quiz?
I totally forgot to say that at the beginning because actually I'm repping all the clans with my fairy merch here.
Yeah.
And I got a nymph, and somebody asked in the other stream we did last week what Ben got, and he got a nymph as well. So I was like, yes, we would be in the same clan.
Oh, yay.
I love it.
I love that.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for indulging me for a couple more minutes and answering your questions. But we are going to have a giveaway. The first giveaway is for Bethany's first book in her retelling series, The Stolen Kingdom. Bethany, anything else you want to say about the series before we ask the giveaway question?
Okay, putting me on the spot. Let's see. It is an Aladdin retelling, and I hope you like it.
And there is
Description.
a standalone villain origin story coming out very soon. When is the date for that again?
September 7th. So that'll be like in this series world, but about 100 years before. So it's kind of fun. You don't have to start with the Stolen Kingdom, but you know, it's a good place to start if you want to.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't gotten into this series yet, or you've been thinking about it, but you haven't bought it yet, this is a perfect time. We're going to ask one question that actually the answer was in the Q&A. So hopefully you were listening, and hope that's going to be the theme going forward, I think, for the other questions. And I'm going to put it on the screen, and the first person I see to answer it correctly in the comments and on mine, because I know all of us might see different ones, is going to win this ebook, and we're going to tell you how you can make sure we get it to you. So everybody ready? Here we go. What was the working title for the original novel on Wings of Ash and Dust? And this is not the one from middle school. This is the one that I first started out sharing on YouTube. So I'm going to look and see who says it first. What was the working title for the original novel on Wings of Ash and Dust before it became a serial? Let's see who's listening. Okay, so CC said Gwendolyn, but that was the middle school, Adventures in Gwendolyn. Good thought. Oh, I see. Christine, Project Fairy Fantasy. Yes, yay. Awesome. So you are going to take home an ebook of the Stolen Kingdom. And Christine, we already know each other, so you can directly message me, and then I will pass on your information to Bethany. Thanks so much, guys. And we have more giveaways coming, so don't go away. We have more games. We're going to get into the next game, which is Which Fairy Clan Are You? And I'm going to have to remember to put up a banner for this one, so we don't have people coming in being like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This is how we play the next game. So before the stream, I assigned each of our co-hosts a fairy clan, including myself. And this is not necessarily the one they got in their quiz. It could be, but it's not necessarily that, without the others knowing who they got. So we'll go around, and each host will ask one other co-host a yes or no question to help determine which clan they are, while everyone in the chat, you guys, get to guess too and help submit questions to ask. Here's some of the rules. You can't guess after you ask a question. So if you want to use your turn to ask a question, you can. And if you guess right, that person is out. And if you guess wrong, you are out. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to give it to, oh, Allie, got a question?
I have a question. So, for example, say Holly asks you a question and you answer yes, and so obviously you're going to be a sylph or something. So could I then, on my turn, guess at your sylph?
No.
Okay. So
Wait. She said if Holly asks the question and then she asks the next question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So then that's a yes, right?
How am I supposed to win?
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Then if it's your turn, does that make sense, or should the person be able to ask right away?
No, because I think guessing should be a question. I like that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. I am also going to put 10 minutes on the clock. And Allie, would you like to go first?
I would love to. Bethany. So I have a question, and I want to know if you would love to go to the library and read some books.
I really would.
This might be easier than I thought, guys. Okay, so Allie doesn't get to guess. Bethany gets to ask somebody else a question. You can also ask me. I'm not going to guess because I know all the answers. But
Okay.
I do have a clan as well.
Okay. So like ruling you out. Let's see here. Okay. Holly. I have no good questions. Hold on. Do you live in the water?
Probably.
Oh my gosh.
So now it's good questions.
Now we just have to
Really good at
remember.
this.
Right. So you can't guess yet. So
Oh my
Holly,
gosh.
you get to go.
Wait, so I can
You can either guess and get
Yes.
someone out,
Okay.
or you can ask a yes or no question.
Bethany, are you a sylph?
Yes, dang it.
Sorry.
You got me.
Good job,
We have
Bethany.
other people in the chat also guessing, and you guys guessed correctly.
That was good. That was too good of a question. You can't.
Dude, I feel bad because I should have been the one to get out first. So you guys can play.
Okay.
That's so funny.
All right. So now I'm gonna pass it to Cassidy since technically it would have been Bethany's question. So Cassidy, you can ask a question.
Okay. Allie, do you like plants?
No, they're disgusting. I hate them.
Cool.
Okay, Allie, you get to ask a question.
I'm gonna keep the game going. Brittany, if you were to go to Hawaii, would you want to go and tour the live volcanoes?
Good question. I probably would not. Good question. Okay, now I can't ask. This is getting a little complicated because I can't ask questions. So I'm gonna pass it back to Holly because I think yeah, let's go to Holly.
Okay. I'm forgetting everyone's name.
That's part of the challenge.
Yeah.
Saying no.
Cassidy, do you like to go deep underground?
I would very much prefer not to.
Okay. Got it.
All right, Cassidy.
I'm trying to keep track of all the answers now. Brittany, are you a dryad?
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
I guess process of elimination at this point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm sorry, I'm out. So Holly and Allie are still in, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna pass it to Allie.
Cassidy, are you Gwillian?
I am.
All right, so Holly, if you can guess Allie, then you win. Hi,
Zuko. Allie, are you a kobold?
I am.
Nice job.
Okay, which means that Holly, you were
I was a nymph.
a nymph. I love it. Great. Everybody was very nice to you and not guessing.
I know. I feel bad. Like that's happening.
I know. I was like, I knew you right away. Come on. That was awesome.
Well, we actually got done that a lot faster than I thought. So we have extra time for other things. Yay. Everybody's laughing. I'm just going to shout out some comments while we have a slow moment here. Hi, JJ. And then Kylie says, you five are so precious. Thank you. You're precious. You're precious for being here. Let's see. Did I miss any other comments we should shout out here? Faith says this was amazing. Zuko is so cute. Yes, he is. And I love that it's based on, his name is based on Avatar. That just makes me really happy. Okay, cool. So you guys are awesome in the comments. Thanks for playing along. We do have one more game. We have more giveaways. We have the reveal of episode 2 coming up, and we have more questions. So I do want to say before we get in there, on my clicking, give me just a second. I'm going to pull up just a reminder that if you have not taken the quiz yet and you want to find out which clan you fit into, either before you start reading or you started reading and you're like, oh, which one would I fit into? You can take this on my website and the link is down below. But we're going to go into Q&A number 2 because I got a lot of questions about the nature of doing an episode or serial. And you guys can ask additional questions in this time as well. And the last section is going to be more about writing in general and the publishing process in general. But right now we're going to focus on episodes and serials. I'm going to make a quick Q&A banner here. And who was my asker for this one? I think it was Holly.
Yes.
Yes. Holly, do you want to ask me a question?
Yeah, so the first question is, what made you decide to release this as a serial series instead of a novel right away? How will this affect print copies if you're doing them? Do you think it was better for the story to be released episodically?
Yeah, I kind of threw all these questions together because they kind of went together. But I did take notes, so I will answer all of them, I swear. So I first saw a few other authors sharing the ideas of serials and their success with fast releasing them and some of the benefits. I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel. You guys can go check out those about serials. I was writing a different serial before I decided to make this novel a serial. That was called Sisters of the Shadowwood. If any of you guys remember that, put Sisters of the Shadowwood in the comments. I do plan to finish that at some point too. But I thought that this was such a cool idea, and I actually first wanted to apply it to On Wings of Ash and Dust because the story easily breaks up into different parts of the competition. And I was like, this would be so cool, you know, to like kind of go through the story with people as the competition is going on sort of in real time. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And I was like, I could do this activity and this challenge and this kind of thing. And then I was like, but I kind of want to traditionally publish it. Like I want to kind of give it its chance to do that. And so I was going towards traditional publishing for a while. Hello, puppy. And that's fine. No, it's fine. And where was I? So then I was going towards traditional. I was going to make Sisters of the Shadowwood a serial. And then I was like, the pandemic happened, and I kind of saw what was going on with the traditional publishing world and how things were slowing down. And I was like, it's already slow enough. Like, I don't want to wait anymore. And then I took Sarah Cannon's Publish and Thrive self-publishing course. And that was sort of the thing that put me over the edge of like, I think I can do this. And then I took the course and I was like, okay, I can do this. Like I had now the confidence and the tools to like do this well, I think. And we're going to find out if that's actually true over the course of the next few weeks. But I think I've done okay so far. And I really wanted to be interactive with my audience. I didn't want a traditional publisher to have to tell me that I needed to change a bunch of things from the story. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for broke. I'm going to just like do this all out. And so this time last year, I was taking Sarah Cannon's course. And a year later, I'm self-publishing the serial. And right now, just to give you a few more details, the episodes are about 25 to 30-ish thousand words. And so if I was going to print them, because a lot of you are asking if they're going to be paperbacks, they'd be super skinny minis, like they'd be really small. And so I planned to do ebooks first, try Kindle Unlimited, and then put them all together into one big printed novel later. Maybe that could come out at the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next. But right now, I just need to get through the ebook episodes first. And somebody asked, was the serial the right move? Well, again, we'll find out over the next few weeks. So you guys are seeing me test this in real time, and you guys get to tell me if you enjoy it and if you like the kind of interactive things I'll be doing over the next few weeks. So that's that.
I like it because we don't have to wait too long for the answers and for the next book, you know. So
yes, and if you have the whole novel, you could just binge it, but then it's like you do it in isolation and then you're done. And I feel like this is such like a community book, especially with the factions, the clans, and like the competition. And I feel like you guys could like be voting for your favorite competitor as the weeks go on. And I have a bunch of different activities that I would like to do with you that are based on what's happening in the book. So hope you guys are excited about all of that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Now, how long did each step take for each episode and for the whole series? Drafting, revision, editing, publishing, prep.
That, believe it or not, was the timer for the game. So we
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes though, just for this portion. Because I want to honor you guys' time. But okay, so good. So I started off with the book being a novel, like I said. So instead of kind of planning each as a serial episode, I had to then break up the novel, which is kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier. So I split it up into like the intro of Quinn and like her arc and like the beginning and how she gets wrapped up in the competition. Mini spoiler, sorry. And then each other episode centers around one of the trials that the competition goes through. And basically what I did is I presented this to my developmental editor and I said, this might not work. I said, you know, I'm going to give you the manuscript and kind of break it up where I think it might work. And she was totally cool with this. She was excited about it. And I said, you know, if it doesn't work, just be honest, tell me. And if you think it does work with some tweaks and some whatever, like I would love to know what that would look like. So she helped me shape each of these segments to have a strong mini arc in the beginning, in the bigger story. And she said, yep, I think this will totally work as a serial. And then my betas, so I had Allie and then Cam as my second round who tested the serial. And they helped me really make the beginnings and the endings of these episodes super strong, because there were a few of them that they were like, hey, I love everything in the middle, but I feel like the beginning and end should be different. So, or like start at a different place. Right, Allie?
Yeah.
Long story short. Yeah. So I think I mastered it this time. If you're talking about timeline, I started working with my developmental editor in October of last year, and then handed everything off to Cassidy, my copy editor, in May. So about 7 months it took me to break it down and then go through betas and edit the heck out of it until it shined. So, and then I sent it to Cassidy and she made it sparkle. And then, was this also a question that I put in here, or did I just put in an extra question? How did I decide where to begin? Oh, I'm just going to add this, Holly. I don't think I put this for you, but someone was asking, how did I decide where to begin and end the episode? So I sort of explained that, but they were asking specifically about this first one. And I will just say that, yeah, I really wanted to wrap in the first part of the competition into episode 1, but because developmental edits kind of like necessitated like bringing more into like Quinn's backstory and her journey to actually getting into it, I was like, this is its own episode, and it's kind of gonna be maybe awkward because I can't really talk too much about the competition in the blurb because it's a little bit of a spoiler. But I think it worked, and I think people are really excited about what they've read so far, and so that makes me really happy, even not getting into the competition yet. So I hope that made sense. We stop episode 1 right before she gets into the competition.
Yeah, I love that. You have some questions in the comments. Do you want me to share a few?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll start with like the less. How about this one? Brendalyn says, "Do serials have more of a word count than novellas?" So she's kind of wondering the difference, I think, between them, and they're like really similar, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least how I'm defining it is definitely similar. But you know, people are talking about Kindle Vella right now, and Kindle Vella is calling what they're doing serials, and they're actually doing like a 5,000 word max for each episode.
Oh my gosh, that's short.
Yes, and you have to pay for each one individually with like tokens. I don't know. It sounds really cool in theory, but anyway, you guys can research that if you want. But I think there's different definitions of length, but the ones that I have seen and enjoyed most are novella size, and that's what I wanted to give my readers. So that's what I did.
Because you can give so much more in the story, right? You can share so many more details.
Yes, and I really enjoyed that. Like, my ARC team specifically has been saying, like, you know, it didn't go by too fast the first episode, but it was manageable to read, and the pacing was good, and like all of that is just making my heart so happy, because those are the things that I was really hoping would happen.
Good, I love that. And then these are the questions from earlier. Child of God was saying, not writing a serial or episodic, I can say this, but still wondering how you use Save the Cat specifically, and how you like figured out. And then somebody else was talking about series Bible, and they were just curious how you plotted it.
Yeah, so I have a whole video. I don't think I linked it specifically down below, but in my serial series playlist, I break down the outline because I did the masterclass because serials are kind of like TV shows, but in book form. So I took one of the master classes on masterclass.com about writing a TV show. Ooh. And they had a similar kind of outline that was similar to Save the Cat, but a little more concise. And so I followed those beats and kind of meshed with Save the Cat in order to find a nice blend for the mini novels, the mini episodes. And then I still had to have that full arc kind of happen, like the midpoint happens in the middle of the series and all that kind of stuff throughout the whole series. So I talk about that in that video. If you want to go check it out, I kind of break it down. I think I gave my patrons a very, very detailed version of that if you want to check us out on patreon.com. But yes, in a short way, that's my answer to that.
Do you think it helped you to write? This is like my question. Do you think it helped you to have the overarching story beats first and then break it down per episode?
It's interesting because I had to tweak some things about the current story in order to make the episodes work, which I think overall made the story even richer. But it was sometimes heart-wrenching because I was like, I don't want to change this. Like I don't, this is like, it would work perfect if it was just a novel, but because I'm doing serials, now I got to finesse this a little bit more, flesh this out. When I was doing Sisters of the Shadowwood, I did really enjoy kind of using each episode as its own thing and then thinking about the overall arc, but not being married to it. So I think there's benefits and cons to both, I think.
That hurts my brain. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
It wasn't easy. I would not suggest it for the faint of heart. And I think I say this somewhere in my notes, but I probably next time only do a maximum of 4 episodes because editing 6 episodes over and over and over and treating each one individually was just like, it was grueling. It was really, really hard. And I think it was worth it. But I would not want to do that again. I think by the time I got to the 3rd one, editing that one, I was like, okay, I could do 1 more, but I have to do 3 more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the behind the scenes of, or if you're thinking of doing one, I would start with 4. You can always expand, but I would start with 4.
Can I ask? Okay. I'm totally like, I have so many questions for you. And I just, I am curious, and I just realized my Mac is about to die, so I'm going to have to go after this and get a power cord. But are you a fan of editing more or drafting more? And I'm curious for everybody else here and in the comments as well. Like, which do you prefer?
Yes. Real quick, let us know in the comments. Do you prefer editing or drafting? And those of us in the chat right here, put up a 2 if you prefer editing and 1 if you prefer drafting.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Really? Ooh, Alice the editor. I like that.
I wish.
Oh my gosh. So I thought I would really enjoy editing. I think I like line editing, but having to developmental edit was just the hardest thing ever. And it was, there's just so many elements and everything has a domino effect.
Yeah.
And like kind of struggling with like not just the one story, but the multiple stories. Like it was, there's another question at some point about like, did you ever want to give up? And the short answer is yes. I wanted to give up multiple times. I looked at Ben and I said, I cannot do this. This is never going to be good enough. And obviously we're here, but it was not my favorite time.
We can relate to that.
We're going to let you go plug in. Holly,
okay, I'll be back.
Preset questions to me.
So, what was the easiest and most challenging part of converting the novel to a serial?
Right, and so we sort of talked about this, but I'll just add that making sure, that each episode had that strong arc, and then it was fleshed out with the clans and the cultures, because once we got into each episode now, the setting changes, right? We're in a different province, and so that was really, like once it's like its own thing, it's like I really need to make this even stronger so it stands on its own. So in addition to what I've already said, that was definitely a teaser. It was a thing to get through. Also making sure each of the trials were really distinct and strong as well, because those are like the climaxes basically of most of the episodes. And then there's also been a learning curve with publishing, but we're going to talk about that when we get to that Q&A.
Another beast.
Yes, exactly.
So which of the 6 episodes would you say is your favorite?
Okay, so this is like picking a favorite child because I love them all. I think first I'll say that I think episode 1 was the one I rewrote the most because you guys know that beginnings are like the hardest thing ever. And so I think I'm most proud of that one because it took me so long to master and get right. And now that the reviews are coming in and everybody's loving it, I'm just like, oh, thank God. So that I'm really proud of. Oh, perfect timing because I'm going to wrap up in a second. The other one though that I would say that I really enjoyed writing and that I think has the most kind of twists and turns, and Allie, you've read them, you probably have them like in your head. Cassidy kind of read them all at once, so I'm not sure she's going to know which one I'm talking about. But in episode 4, we are in the Dryad section, and that trial and the things you learn in that episode are just like awesome. Like I'm the writer and I got chills just thinking about what's in there. So I don't know if that's cliche, but I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with episode 4 and finding out kind of what's going on behind the scenes in that one. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I do have one more question that someone threw into the Google Doc.
Yeah.
Jamie, and because I want to know the answer. Jamie asked, plans for an audiobook?
Oh, this is such a good question. I can't believe nobody asked it yet. So audiobooks would like just make my life. Like I if I can, I prefer listening to an audiobook. Actually having the physical book in front of me and like having it being read to me as I read it. I don't know if it's weird. But I love it, and I would love to work on an audiobook with a professional. I've done some acting in the past, and like I love dramatic reading, so if I had to, and it would be a lot cheaper, I would try to do it myself. But it's definitely a dream of mine and something I have on my to-do list. I just don't have an action plan for it yet. But if you guys want one, tell me, put audiobook in the comments so I know a lot of you would want it, and I would definitely make that a priority.
You'd be good at that.
Oh, thanks. I can't do like all the cool voices necessarily, but
you probably could. You probably could.
I could work on it.
Yes, that's fine.
And like with all the new skills I'm learning, why not add?
Right?
Time for that, I'm sure.
Yes.
Cool. So feel free to keep asking questions, guys. We can always keep popping them up throughout. But I am going to multiple things here. Pull down this banner, and we're going to do another giveaway. Who wants another giveaway? Yay. And this time we are giving away Cassidy's first book, and this is going to be a series 2, right, Cassidy?
Ooh, yes. That cover's pretty.
So pretty. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the saltwater air?
Sure. So the saltwater air is, like I said before, it's a twist on the Lost Princess trope. So it is about a princess, like a kind of a warrior princess, I guess, from one kingdom, finding out that she is the lost princess of the kingdom that she is at war with.
Yes.
Awesome.
And it's it's a lot of family, like sibling bonds, and there's some friends to lovers, maybe, which isn't normally what I write, but I had fun with it this time. And yeah, it's I'm blanking on.
It's a fun time. You guys, I'll just talk her up for a minute because Cassidy was my copy line editor, like we said, and the some of the tweaks that she gave for some of my lines, some suggestions, I was like, oh, that's so good. And then I picked up her book, and I haven't finished reading it, but I'm in it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like every, like, you know, you have those lines that are just like, okay, you have to tell what's going on. But like every 4th or 5th line is just like, this is beautiful. Like, how does she do this? Just saying. But we are going to ask a question. And the first person who answers that question in the comments gets an ebook of the Saltwater Air. If you were listening to the Q&A we just had, I gave you the answer not that long ago. So here we go. Answer this question. I just mentioned my favorite episode in the series might be episode 4. Which fairy clan did I say that episode focuses on? First person in the comments that I see. We're going to put that on.
Oh my gosh, there's a ton.
Okay, I saw Kaylee. Kaylee, here. Where are you? Oop, now it just updated on StreamYard. That's why it's a little delayed. Okay, so Kaylee, I see you. You win. Congratulations. And if you could, I think we're connected in a bunch of different ways, but however, which way we're connected, Instagram, email, whatever, send me a message to remind me that you won, and I will connect you with Cassidy, and we will get you a copy of her book. So excited. So it is already 7:11. We have one more game, Spill or Quill. We have another Q&A, and we have 3 giveaways at the end, plus the release of the cover for episode 2. So I just have to ask my co-hosts, are we okay staying till like 7:45?
Sure. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, if somebody needs to go, please let me know. But I'm going to set a timer for this game for 10 minutes and see how we do. But Spill or Quill, Keelan, if you're still here, I'd love to put you up on the screen because as far as I know, you created this game. It's basically a writer/reader version of Truth or Dare. Each round, the hosts and you lovely people in the chat will be able to either spill, answer a truth type question, or Quill, which is sharing a line from your story that correlates to the prompt. So we on the back end have our prompts here. And I'm going to have Cassidy be our dice girl again. And we are going to do our first spill or Quill. And actually, instead of doing the dice, because I definitely want to do the first one we have here, and then we'll use our dice. I just have to find, here we go. So I'm going to put this as a banner, and you guys in the comments and us on the screen are going to pick one of these to answer. So our first spill or Quill is, okay, sorry guys. Oh, come on. Here we go. Which characters from any books would you put in your own pirate crew? Because Quinn has a pirate crew. Or you can share the opening line or lines to your story. I did not think through who would go first in this, but I'll go first. I'll read my opening lines because I think that's kind of fun for Wings of Ash and Dust. And then you guys kind of get in your brain which one you would like to do. And we'll get through this as quickly as possible. So that we can get to more spiller quills. I mean. So I actually, fun fact, right before I published Wings of Ash and Dust, I had a friend, very lovely author friend, email me letting me know that there was a dangling modifier. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes. In my second sentence. So I had to, most people, nobody else picked up on it, but I was like, I know it's there. I can't. So I had to change a little bit. So if you're an ARC reader, you might notice just a little bit of different rewording. But this is the opening for On Wings, or Wings of Betrayal. I have to get out of here. Fleeing down the cliffside streets of Grey Marrow, I urge my dragon-like wings to quicken through the thick smog. Bladesmiths stoke their forges with early morning fire. Loud hammering and the whine of a sharpening wheel thrums through my body. My eyes sting from the smoke, but at least no one can see I've already rubbed them raw. Blasted tears. As the red sun rises, my vision blurs and I crash into a display of swords. They clatter to the ground. Berating voices call after me for my carelessness, but I don't stop, speeding towards the beach below the mountain. The more the tears fall, the faster I fly as the Gwillian mantra I claimed just the night before rings in my mind, taunting me. Gwillians are strong as steel. They do not yield. Magic is a crutch. Laughter is frailty. Tears are poison.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I went a little long because it's my book. So, but hopefully you guys are excited about that. Who on the screen would like to spill or quill?
Ooh.
I'll spill. Oh, or Alex.
You go first, Cassidy. You go first.
I'm gonna spill.
Do it.
Because my first line is like one word, so I'm just gonna.
Wait, now I want to know your first line too.
It's just move.
That's very, very assertive.
All right, let's see. I just lost it. Okay. For my pirate crew, I would want Griffin from Daughter of the Deep, by Lena Amerigo. I say her name wrong every time, I'm sure. I would want Quill from the Star Chaser saga. I would want Nikolai from the Grishaverse.
Yes.
And then I would want Nina and Inej from Six of Crows.
Yes. I like that.
Love it.
I would just take the whole Six of Crows gang.
Yeah, there you go.
I just agree with that.
Allie.
Oh.
I'm going to also spill on this one, and I would just need me and then 2 others, because the 2 others totally would take care of everything. And that would be Kelsier from Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and then also by Brandon Sanderson, Kaladin Stormblessed. I feel like within their powers, and then just me, I would probably just clean the decks, just to be honest, but like they would handle everything else.
Nice.
Only need 3.
Holly, you want to go next?
Yes, I am also spilling this time.
Okay.
And I, for my pirate crew, I would choose Juliet from These Violent Delights, Rue from Wings of Ebony,
Ooh, yeah.
Ash from the Star Chaser saga. Yay, Star Chaser saga. Probably I'll add Thorn too. And then Katniss from the Hunger Games, because she's classic badass. So
Yes.
Nice. Katniss. Oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I have to say, before I go, shout out to everybody who's sharing their first line or their quill in the comments, because you're rocking it.
Yes.
And I'm going to do that because it's probably the only thing I'm comfortable sharing about my latest book, because I'm not sure if anything else is set in stone yet. So here goes. I told Brittany beforehand, I'm like, I don't know if I want to read something out loud.
But this is from The Secret Gift, right?
Yes, this is from my latest. It's not out yet. And I did just share it on Instagram today, so I decided I could be brave. So it says, let's hope you never develop that garbage gift your mother had. My father grumbled after his second cup of mead. He was getting an early start tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's a villain origin story.
Yes.
Probably should have said that first. Daddy
Up the
issues.
wall.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Because we want to like keep rolling, I know you guys can see all the comments, but I am going to pull up a couple of them and then we'll move on to the next one. A Child of God shared a quill. Death was a part of Corvina. Never make a deal with death. So, these are 2 separate lines, one for the prologue and one for chapter 1. I love those. Mary says for the spill, I think I would pick the Lunar Chronicles characters and the characters from S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders for my prior crew. Ooh,
I didn't even think about Thorn from the Lunar Chronicles. That's
Thorn is the best.
yeah.
Also, Jude from Folk of the Air was mentioned in the comments. Jude is awesome.
Yes. Cool. We have one more pirate crew and then we'll move on. Clary, my pirate crew, Regina Mills.
Mhm.
Ooh, that's from Once Upon a Time, I think, right? Cinder from Cinder, and then Vidia and Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Yes, Tinkerbell.
Awesome. Oh, I wish we could pull them all up, but we want to get to at least a couple more spiller quills. So now I'm going to have Cassidy roll the dice, and we're going to pick another random 5. Okay, let me scroll for a second. I will read it out loud so you guys can get typing or sharing, and then I will put it on the screen. So number 5 is Spill, your favorite or most disappointing book of 2021 so far, or a quill, a line that tells us something about your favorite supporting character. This can be main character or main character's best friend, love interest, animal pal, whatever. So I'm going to put this on the thing, but does somebody else want to kick this one off? 5.
I'll go ahead and go. I don't mind volunteering. I'll do a quill this time because I just really like this character. He's from my YA fantasy I'm still drafting, so obviously probably will change a lot, but have fun. Dante Dolabella never went by his surname here in Galecross's most popular tavern or anywhere, not anymore. There had been a time when he'd flaunted it, reveled in his connections, but now there wasn't a single soul in the entire port city who knew who he really was, and that's exactly the way he wanted it.
Ooh.
Love
I like that.
About that character.
I love that.
Cool. Who would like to go next?
I'll Quill. I mean, not
Do
Quill.
it.
Yeah, I'll Quill.
Do it.
All right, let's see. We won't ever get this chance again. The antidote is in this palace somewhere. I cannot let you take that risk for me. His voice rasped like a blade being drawn from its sheath, but she shushed him with a flick to the back of his head. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's currently standing in the middle of an enemy kingdom on a solo mission with only a sewing needle and a stolen uniform to his name? How is it fair that you can be an idiot for me and I can't be an idiot back? You started it, he mumbled. But even in the darkness, she saw the corner of his mouth lift, the faintest smile. Their fights never lasted long anymore, and this is exactly why. Elias Locke, at his core, was not a fighter. He was composed of all things soft and gentle and good, and though there was a wolf living under his skin, it wasn't a wolf she found difficult to tame, which was a very fancy way of saying her best friend was a complete pushover.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Is this the one that made you laugh at your own like writing? Okay.
Nice. I like that.
So good. So good. Ah, I love it. Anybody else want? You don't have to answer every single one if you rather. You could say pass, and we could just read a couple from the
I
comments.
pulled up Goodreads, so I'm ready now.
Okay.
Go, Bethany.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to do the spill one, right? That's the one. Oh, it's right there. You literally put it on the screen. Sorry.
It's fine.
Anyway, so I'm going to go with favorite book of 2021, but question, do rereads count? Like, or should it be a brand new read? I'll go with I talk about rereads all the time. I'll go with a brand new one because this is another indie author, which is super cool to me. I read 100 Days of Sunlight, and I thought that was really well done by Abby Emmons. So it's not YA. It's not my typical genre, but I loved it.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who's
Holly,
left?
I think it's Holly.
Yes, yes. I'm going to Quill this one. This so-called Tinto slaps hands with Raven before pulling her into a hug. Yep, this girl saved me from some thugs when she was passing by here last week. I knew I recognized that cloak. Raven tugs at the edges of the fabric and lifts her head. Gotta love me. So, you're a badass fighter too then, huh? My hands shoot to my hips. Raven winks. I knew you'd find out sooner than later. I mean, what's a thief if you don't get caught every once in a while? The real magic is in knowing how to escape.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that last line.
That last line is good.
I feel like we need to snap or something.
Yeah.
Like we're in a coffee house.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to shout out a couple. Mary Spill, my favorite read is Wings of Betrayal, of course. Oh, I didn't even see that. I literally just clicked on the first one. That is
so
really sweet. Thank you. Another favorite, The Chance to Fly by Ali Stoker. Love it. Heather Quill. She had always loved how he never expected more than she was ready to give. But my main character's best friend turned boyfriend. Ooh. I like it. Faith says it's technically not out yet, but I read an arc of Beasts of Prey by Anya Gray, and it's definitely my favorite read of 2021.
That sounds good.
Funny.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. I'll read one more, Quill, from Jennifer. Fine, Caroline, he said my name deliberately, as if he still hadn't decided if I deserved. Oh, crap. Didn't say, oh crap. I'm going to read it again to the comments. No, I'm so sorry. Jennifer, I'm going to read it again. Fine, Caroline, he said my name deliberately, as if he still hadn't decided if I deserved a name. I'm sorry that my face is so hard. Nice. Good job, guys. Sweet. All right, let's at least do one more.
Yeah.
I can play this all day, every day.
It's fun. It's so fun.
What do we got, Cassidy?
Right. I grabbed a different dice because there's 8 prompts. So
Oh, good catch.
Well, thank you.
All right. Let's see. 8.
Wow.
There we go.
Perfect. And can I just applaud the fact that I was supposed to come with the dice and did not. And Cassidy immediately was like, what kind of dice do you want?
I've got a few. We can just add them here.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to create this banner. and I'm gonna pull it up. And would anybody else like to be brave for number 8?
Ooh, I want to spill for this one.
Do it.
Okay, I'll start us off this time. So a big thing on the author bucket list. I love author bucket lists. Like I have so many that are like way up there. Oh, that's good timing, right? Maybe.
That's okay. Keep going.
Maybe not. I was going to say having a book made into either a movie or a TV show would be super cool. Super cool.
Stole mine. That was my answer.
Oh, no.
You could be different and be like a Netflix series. You know?
There you go.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
No, I'm agreeing. Yeah. That's fine. Cool. Who's next?
Ingrid says publishing. Sorry.
Ooh, Ingrid. Okay. Yeah. If anybody agrees with Ingrid, say I agree. If you're just like, okay, I just want to publish, that would be the thing.
And Brittany, you've accomplished that today.
I
did. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. Back to Ellie.
Okay. I'll just Quill again because my thing was publishing a book, and we kind of like, yay! There's that one. This one's actually from Cities of Smoke and Starlight, so this is one of my favorite passages. So you get a little sneak peek, I guess. Tradition said watching a corpse burn on the pyre was taboo. Mourners gazed into the sky above, watching the smoke of the deceased make their final journey. Hallie had read that back on First Earth, many cultures buried their dead, but after landing on Yalvara, the ritual of funeral pyres made a resurgence. Maybe because this wasn't their native planet, the people of Jade belonged elsewhere. The spirits of the departed would soar among the stars and find their way back to humanity's true home. That was what some people believed anyway. It might be easier than accepting the truth that those who died, never returned to the realm of the living. I butchered that, but that's fine.
No, I love it. Thanks, Hallie. I need to read. Yay. I need to read something by you, and then Holly.
Thank you. I will also Quill, and I think this, and I forgot to say that the other line was also from Project Diamond. This one is from Project Diamond as well. I think it's the end of the first chapter. I can't remember. But would Mom and Dad still torture me to fit their agenda to rise up the royal ranks without an absolute doubt? Apparently, they can't do that without me. But I'm getting tired of it all, so they better be careful. If they keep doing whatever it takes, sooner or later, I'm going to break. After all, with enough force, even diamonds can shatter.
Ooh, I see where you got the project title.
Yeah. There's some cool things going on with those diamonds in there, too.
Yeah. Very cool.
I love it. Let's see. Somebody else want to go? I was just looking at the comments.
I'm just trying to decide if I want to spell or Quill.
Quill, both.
I'll Quill. Let's see, where is it? Right. Power isn't power if someone has to give it to you. Power is something that you claim for yourself. If it's given, it can also be taken away. And the more people that have their eyes on you, the less you can get away with. Huh. I never thought of it that way. Most don't. They like the visibility, the title, the fanfare, the sight of themselves in a crown. Finn shrugged. I prefer to make my own crown, my own kingdom. No one can take what I made for myself. It belongs to me alone.
Yes.
Whoa, love it.
I love the themes kind of wrapped up in there. I'm going to pull up a couple more. Kylie says, publish my entire fantasy series, writing draft 1 of book 2 currently, thinking 6 books total. Woo, love it. Actually publishing a book. We got a few of those. Child of God did a Quill as she ran her fingers over the intricate design burnt into her flesh. The memories became all too vivid. Good stuff, guys. Oh, and I saw one more. Let's see. Brennan says the fire's dance was all she wanted to focus her mind on. It gave light. It could burn. It had life. It was free to dance. Ooh. Gotta read all your guys' books.
Love it.
Cool. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here because we're already. Oh no, wait. Yeah, we're at an hour and a half. So we have a little bit more we're going to do, and then we're going to wrap up, which includes giveaway, includes a little more Q&A, and episode 2 reveal. But I definitely love Spiller Quill. So if you all want to come on my channel again sometime just to play Spiller Quill, I'm just saying, I'm for it.
So fun.
So let's see. The next thing, we're going to do a little bit more Q&A, and I think there were just a couple of questions we had, and I think Bethany was going to be
Yes.
the asker of questions, and you guys can ask your questions live too if you want. And yeah, let's go.
Yes, throw them in the comment box, and let's start with, did you always think the story would be self-published?
Well, yes, and I sort of talked about this earlier, so I'll just say that, yeah, I was definitely working toward TrabPub, and it was like a leap of faith to really go self-pub, not because it's not great, but just because I was like, can I do this well? And I really wanted to know that I could do this well. And so I'm just going to shout it out one more time. I'm pretty sure it's on the screen. Yes, it is. Sarah Cannon's Publish and Thrive course, amazing. Obviously, I had my wonderful self-published friends already as well, but it's not like they could come over and like spend hours upon hours, telling me exactly what I should do, recording videos for me and answering all my questions all the time. So that's basically what Self-Publish and Thrive was like. I have it linked down below because it's starting again on August 9th. And if you have any inkling to like self-publish, it's just amazing. I have a review video if you want to check it out. But that was really the thing that pushed me over the edge, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I think at some point I'd like to hybrid. I'd like to, have my self-published books and try to get traditionally published as well. But I'm having so much fun with self-publishing, the freedom and like the way I can market however I want. It's going to be hard to give up if I ever do get an agent. So
we have won you over to the dark side. I like it. So what did you think going into self-publishing? What did you think it was going to be like? And then how was it different than what you expected?
Yes. So I knew it was going to be a lot. It was even more than I expected.
Yes, so much.
And then some. Juggling when to do things and how long each thing took was definitely a huge learning curve and still is. Thanks to Sarah's course and my self-published friends, they are a godsend. I don't know if I would have made it without them. And I love having full control, like I said, the marketing. Next time, though, I probably, like I said, wouldn't do a serial over 4 episodes. But I still think that doing a serial is really cool and fun. And the multiple releases and stuff, but then I will check back in with you guys after 12 weeks of this because the new episode comes out every 2 weeks. And I'm already like putting off the official reveal for episode 2, like on Instagram and stuff, a couple days because I'm getting off of today and I'm like super high and like, yes, this is the best. And then like, I just want to crawl into a hole tomorrow and watch Netflix and like be awesome out, but like be an introvert again. So well, I'll let you know in 12 weeks what I feel like then.
You are literally like carving a new path. So we'll see. Like, let us know what you think when you get to the end of it. So far, what is your least favorite or like the hardest part of the process?
So the least favorite is making sure I've done everything right and that I've done it on time. It's very stressful, but I think after, again, I do this for 12 weeks and I do this 6 times and 7 times plus, with the full book, hopefully I'll have a rhythm. And I'll just say too, as an example, I realized I had to put episode 2 up for pre-order before I put the final file for episode 1 because I wanted the link for episode 2 in the back of episode 1. And it was like, I was getting down to the wire and I was talking to Bethany and Mandy and they were like reminding me of this. And I was like, oh my gosh. And they were like, sometimes like Kindle doesn't, or Amazon, KP, whatever, doesn't get it up, right away. So you got to like do it soon. So we're like we do our like weekly kind of writer chats. And I'm like, they're like, okay, you guys talk, but I'm going to like start this together because I don't want to miss the deadline. And I made it. So I was so thankful. But it's those kind of things that I'm like taking notes and like chronicling sort of like the order of operations, basically.
That's kind of the upside is you're going to be a pro. You're going to be so ahead of like the rest of us who publish like once a year or something. and I remember I came back and I was like, okay, how do I do this again? You're gonna be like, I know what to do.
Well, I think the benefit to some people again are like, well, why aren't you doing physical books? And I'm like, I think if I was doing one ebook, I would be like, okay, I'm going to push myself to do a physical book because I'm doing this all for the first time. I'm like, I'm so glad that all I have to worry about is the ebook.
Yeah.
Because if I had to do physical books on top of this, I would crack and just like fall into pieces on the floor. And
it's nice that you're doing Kindle Unlimited too. So like anybody who's on there, you get to read for free, but also Brittany doesn't have to do like all the vendors. She can focus on one vendor.
That's the other thing. Yes. I decided to do one vendor and start off there. And and I know some of you are like, oh, but I'm, on these other places, and just like my brain can only take so much. So thank you for being patient with me, and I hope it's a fun ride.
But that was a question earlier. Let's pop that one in there before we keep going with the other ones in here, because somebody earlier was asking basically what is the plan for paperback, and is that coming? And like I kind of answered them, but you should answer better than me.
Yeah. So after all the ebooks are out, my plan then, especially because some people will let me know if there's any errors left in it. If there's any like little plot things I should tweak or whatever, it's almost like a beta reader round that I can then make any little tweaks I need to do and then put them into a full novel, package that as a physical book and give it to you guys. And what I want to do, because you guys, you know what? All of the ebooks are going to have their own cover. And what I was very sad because I was like, I need to create a whole different cover for the full novel. But what I'm going to do, sort of like if you look in the Six of Crows book, they have a black and white kind of image in there that separates the different parts in the novel. So I'm going to put each of these beautiful illustrations to separate still into the different parts or episodes within the physical book. Now, what I could do eventually, if I really wanted to, is to format the heck out of the ebooks and try to make them a little bigger so that they would be worth doing the physical books. But then I would also have to pay for full wraps of all of those books and all of the subsequent things that would then happen with that. So hopefully that makes sense.
That makes total sense. It could potentially be thousands more dollars. And that leads perfectly into the next question about cover design. How did you decide on your cover designer or your cover artist in this case?
Yes. So the brief answer is that I found Hillary on Instagram, and she's amazing. And I had a few artists that I was really interested in, and I kind of beta tested them by having them all do character art of Quinn. And to see if I like their style. I paid them for this so that I could have the art myself no matter what. And then I mean, look at her, like this is her. And so I was like, this was her character art, by the way. So we did not have to do a new one. This was just put on the front cover. And that's the short version. I have a whole video about how I decided what kind of cover I wanted and how I found my cover designer. And then you see the process from like sketch to final. I have a video about that on my channel if you want to go check that out, but that is the short answer.
Nice. I love that. And then that you kind of answered this next one, but I think it's worth bringing up again. Penny, stop. Sorry, my dog's being a little crazy. Did you ever find yourself at the point of wanting to put the whole project back down?
Yes. And like I said before, there were just times where I was like, especially looking at my husband, and my poor husband, his love language is quality time. And I have spent so many hours not giving him quality time because I'm trying to finish this book. Yeah. And why did I bring that up? What was the question again? Oh,
it was about putting it down. Yeah.
So like saying no to like spending time with like family and friends. I was like, oh God, I hope this is worth it. I got into a place where I was, especially in the developmental editing, I was like, I don't know if I can do this well enough where people are actually gonna like enjoy this and not, well, I'm sure I'm gonna get 1 stars at some point from somebody, but like, like I didn't want to have to deal with that coming out of the gate, and so I was just like, there were many days where I was just like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. So I'm very excited that I made it.
I think everybody can relate, and let us know in the comments too if you relate to that, because I definitely do. I think every writer goes through that roller coaster. And speaking of like writer stuff in general, the last question before we go into some from the commenters is, what is your go-to advice for writers?
Yes.
Like
and
your top.
this is definitely, and I thought about this for a little while, but I think the biggest thing I would say is get feedback.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
even, I
good.
mean, I could say, you know, buy Save the Cat and memorize the beats. I could say, you know, take a course in writing. But I honestly think the best thing you can do is to get critique partners, beta readers, people who are ahead of you that have published before, you know, mentors, friends, and just, it is sometimes the most heart-wrenching thing to get feedback, but it's better to get that now than it is, you know, to be blindsided by that when you publish and to have everybody picking on the same thing. And I just feel like, you know, I wrote my acknowledgments recently, obviously, because I had to put it in the book. And it was, there were just people upon people on people that have like read this book and given their thoughts. And like, this is my book, but it's like, it took a village, you know, and it is, if I published what I thought was good enough back then, it would not be as good as it is now. So I'm gonna get emotional because it's just, I'm very thankful.
Oh, I love that.
So,
Oh, that's so awesome. Do we have time for 2 more? There's 2 more good ones from the comments.
sure. Yeah. And then
And-
we're gonna do a giveaway and cover reveal, and then we're done.
Yay. And we're very proud of you, by the way, since we're like, let's keep the emotions going.
Perfect timing.
Yay. Okay, so I'll make these quick. So Heather says, what made you consider going straight into Kindle Unlimited rather than wide?
Yeah. I think it was selfishly just like, I don't want to have to deal with multiple vendors right now. Like I knew, especially uploading six books one after the other, I was like, it's just going to be insane. And I knew myself and I knew what I could handle. So I was like, if I'm going to stay to one platform anyway, I might as well do Kindle Unlimited. And because each book is coming out every 2 weeks, if I ever want to take them out, I don't have to wait that long to get all of the books out to then bring them wide. And, you know, in Kindle Unlimited, people get to read it, you know, included in their subscription. And so I might potentially get a lot more readers than I would have if I was just selling it. So we'll see how it goes, but those were some of my reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. You were very strategic about it.
Yeah.
And then Kylie asks, how did you find the courage to start your YouTube channel so early in your publishing career?
That is a great question. I started out on Instagram because of Bethany, because she was on Instagram and we had reconnected. And I was like, I've always wanted to write a book. Like, I just don't know if I can do it. And she was like, get involved in the writing community, like get on Instagram. And when Instagram got stories, so I think I was on Instagram before stories was a thing, Insta stories.
That's so funny.
Right? Insta stories came on and I
Wow.
was just like, I think I want to play around with this. And I started talking to the camera and I started like recording stories and talking to the people that were following me or interacting with me. And at some point there were a couple people that, because I was, you know, loved people on AuthorTube and like shared AuthorTube things, people were like, well, why don't you start an AuthorTube channel? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not published yet. Like, I don't have enough to share. Like, I don't know if people will like it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I had started like some other YouTube kind of things before, but like in very different topics and stuff, and didn't really get a ton of traction, or I did in one, but anyway, that's a different story. But this was very different than what I had done on that channel. And I was just like, I don't know. But I had people asking for it and seeing, liking what I was doing in a short kind of segment. So I was like, well, let's just try it. And then it's like one of the things I do most and one of my income streams now. And yeah.
And you already had some experience with it too, which is nice. Like, don't be afraid to just start and see what happens.
Yes, exactly. So
that's so cool. All right, we should probably do the giveaway. I think we got all the questions, right, guys?
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so, oops. So sorry, guys. Didn't mean to nick you out there. Okay, so we're gonna do 3 giveaways. And then we're gonna show episodes 2's covers, and then we're gonna be done. But so get ready, you guys. I'm gonna ask you a question. The first person who answers this correctly is going to either get the Wings of Betrayal free copy, or if you already have Wings of Betrayal, I will give you an early copy, an art copy of episode 2. So let's just get right into it. Question number 1: what item do Quinn and her brother share? Oh, I forgot to say, opening chapter of Wings of Betrayal is on my newsletter. My newsletter subscribers have access, or if you read the book, all of these questions are going to have to do. Sorry, guys, who haven't read it, but are going to have to do with that opening chapter, which you could read for free, and you still could if you haven't yet.
Ooh, there's a lot coming in.
So, all right,
Wow.
I see Kylie. But I know also that Kylie is one on my ARC team who already gets an early copy. So, I'm gonna have to. I'm looking. I see a few patrons and a few ARC members. So okay. The first person I see who isn't already getting an early copy is Dreamer. And so Dreamer, do you have an Instagram, or because we could do email, but that can get a little funky. If you have an Instagram, and you can Instagram me, DM me at author Brittany Wang, I would love to give you whichever one you wanted. I'm not sure which one you wanted, but let me know. I know you guys, Kylie's like, I got excited. You guys can totally answer too, but I'm like, I kind of want to give it to somebody who isn't already going to have it. So, yay. Okay. So let's just we're going to go fast. And I'm just saying huge thank you to my co-host. And if you guys need to leave, totally understand. But the second giveaway we're going to do is 15% off my merch store. So you can represent your fairy clan with a mug or a sweatshirt or stickers or a pencil pouch. And it's going to be 15% off at my merch store. And it's going to be yes, Allie's sporting it right now, the sweater.
And Holly was too. And you guys.
Holly was too with the stickers.
Yeah, like,
woo, woo. So if you guys are excited to rep your clan for 15% off, the question is this is also coming from the opening chapter, which is for free on my website. What's the creature that Quinn sees on the tapestry as she walks down to the dungeon? This is going to be a little bit harder one, so hopefully somebody remembers. Or you can sign into my website right now into the member section if you're a newsletter subscriber and look for it. Mary said she ordered fairy merch today. Yay!
Woo!
Thank you. All right. Ooh,
people are guessing.
Yes, Brendolyn Dragon.
Yay!
Yay!
Brendolyn, please forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think you're a patron. Am I correct in saying that? Or maybe I'm not. I've had a couple new patrons and I've seen your name a lot on Instagram and stuff. So maybe I'm just remembering you from Instagram. Let me know real fast if that. Brendolyn is guessing. She guessed that one. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. No way.
Yes. Okay, Brendolyn. Okay, so you already have the chance to get an early copy. So I think the next person I saw, oh my gosh, where did it go? I'm so sorry, guys. Jim Moriarty, which I don't think is a patron. I'm so sorry, guys, if I'm forgetting. But Jim, if you want to DM me on Instagram at author Brittany Wang, or if you don't have Instagram, let me know. I would love to give you 15% off at my merch store. Okay, cool. And then last one, Jim, let me know for sure if that is good to go. Last one is if you are a writer and you have maybe been wanting to check out my author website bootcamp, I'm giving 20% off of the course. It's lifetime access, and you get to create your author website from scratch, your newsletter, your members page, all that good stuff. And am I forgetting something, Bethany? I just saw.
Oh, I was typing that. Oh, sorry, there's an echo here. I was letting Brendolyn know that she will. She can message you on Patreon for that early reader copy.
Yes,
sorry.
Yes. It's on Patreon, but yes, message me if you missed it for sure. Jim is a patron too. Hold on. I gotta pick the next one. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm so sorry. You guys are great. I see ARC team people. I see. I
think people stopped guessing because you called it.
Oh, shoot. Okay. If you guessed that one correctly and I did not see your comment and you are not a patron or an ARC team member, please let me know. Okay. All right. So for this one, for the author website bootcamp, oh, wait. Sorry. That was for the merch store. Jim?
Yes.
I'm getting all kinds of confused. You still get 15. Or maybe Brenda should also
Brendolyn.
get 15. I'm going to give you both 15 because I'm a dupe and just am not paying attention. Okay.
I didn't think about that either. Whoops.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I
Good
thought we were
catch,
still
good
talking
catch.
about the ebook stuff.
I
I'm so
know,
sorry.
me too.
So Jim and Brendolyn, message me, remind me that you're getting 15% off merch. Okay, last one. Here we go. Too many things in the brain. Author website bootcamp, 20% off. Answer this question. What is Quinn's favorite dessert called? This is a world-specific thing that will actually come up again.
I want to say when I know. It's so
I know.
hard not to say.
Don't say it out loud.
I know, right?
What is Quinn's favorite dessert called? And this can be to anyone who is not already a part of Author Website Bootcamp.
I think JJ got it.
JJ is also a part of Author Website Bootcamp.
Oh, someone else guessed.
But I love the guess. I love that there was ambrosia salad, but that is not the right answer. Katie, you are not a part of Author Website Bootcamp yet, right? Is that correct? Let me know, because Lily Tarts is the right question. I'm so sorry I can't keep all my students and everybody straight. But
it's a lot to handle, yeah.
It is. There's a lot of people that I talk to, and some people are like multiple things, so I'm just like, can't keep them all straight. Lily. Katie. I need to stop.
Come on, gang.
My brain. So Katie, Katie says, no, I'm not. So perfect.
Yay.
Please message me and I will get you that 20% off. I'm so excited for you to join. Okay. We're just going to wrap up. And I want to say, before I reveal, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to all of you, to my wonderful co-hosts who stayed extra. I should have just said, I'm going to say an hour and a half. It's going to be 2 hours.
Totally fine.
Co-hosts are amazing. All of you that came to celebrate with me, you are fantastic. It has been so much fun. I hope you had so much fun. Huge thank you to those that pre-ordered and that have ordered today and got early copies, and my wonderful ARC team members and my patrons who have been leaving reviews like crazy already. You guys are fabulous. To my YouTube members who are faithful supporters of this channel. And new episodes are releasing again every 2 weeks. So I hope you guys join in the fun here on YouTube, on Instagram, because I'll have new activities every week pertaining to the books. And before you go, ready for the cover and title reveal for episode 2. We need a little drum roll. Episode 2 is Palace of Potions Self-Trial. This is one of the characters that you have not met yet, but obviously she's a sylph, and she's gorgeous. Hillary did another fabulous job, and as you can tell, or I'm just going to clarify that Quinn is continuing to be the main POV throughout the whole series, but I wanted to feature each of the clans and each of the competitors on different ones. So those of you who have already met Aaron, he is going to be on one of the covers. And it's so gorgeous. Everybody's Screech is so beautiful. So excited. You guys love it. And I will let you know right now, because I'm going to be letting everybody on Instagram and other people know either Thursday or Friday. I have to figure out what day I'm doing the official cover reveal. But it is already up for pre-order. And if you finish the book, there's a link in the back that tells you that. The cover has not been uploaded to Amazon, though. There's a temporary cover. So you guys are seeing the cover first after patrons and ARC team members. And if you would like to pre-order, if you already have started reading episode 1, you finished, you know you already want episode 2, you can pre-order it right now. The link is in the description. And we got pets that are excited. Everybody. So I'm so glad that you guys love the cover. Please go. Well, don't do it yet. Wait until the actual release. But when I release the cover on Instagram, please go tell Hillary that she did an amazing job. Again, Wings of Betrayal is out as well. If you haven't bought it already, link is in the description. And that is the show, you guys. That is the whole gambit. This was so fun. I don't know if any of my co-hosts want to say anything else. I know I've been talking a lot, but thank you guys so much for being here. It's been so fun.
Yay, we're so proud of you.
Yes, I'm excited for
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
So, yes. So, guys, I'm going to leave it, especially because I've kept these ladies longer than I said. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll be back next week I don't have next week. Well, I have an idea for next week. I have ideas. I have solid ideas for every single week after next week, but next week it's still a little up in the air. But we will have a video. It will be on Tuesday. And so make sure you subscribed, like this video, share it if you think other people should check it out. And more than anything, please share the links to the books, because I would love for more people to get in on this story. So
yes,
I'm gonna sign off. You guys are awesome.
Bye,
To my co-host, I'm gonna pull up my leaving screen, and then I will end the stream. Ready? Here we go.
bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hello.
And I'm pressing end. And